So, true story. I was in my garage working on something completely unrelated to cars when suddenly I heard a most alarming noise. It sounded like it was coming from the back of the Z3. I rushed over to look. I took a look underneath the car. As I did, I found that I had a small air leak from the spare tire.
Hello happy people, and welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world, the BMW Z3, or as the folks in Christchurch call it, the Z3. I'm Mark, and today the question is, where is the air in my spare? So we're going to do a quick how-to on how to lower the spare tire and the spare tire carrier, and then we're going to see why I lost all my air so suddenly. But first, our Zed of the week from the Lone Star State of Texas.
This is Arnoldo's 2001 2.5 liter 5-speed manual he's owned since 2010. He's done some work on it, including the soft top and the radiator. He recently upgraded his headlights with spider halos. Says he really likes the look of those. I like the look of how the top contrasts with the silver color of the body, and I love those 5-spoke wheels.
Thank you so much, Arnoldo, for sending us your beautiful car. If you'd like your Z3 featured on Moment of Zed, please follow the instructions in the description below. While you're at it, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's right there as well. Now, let's figure out what's wrong with my spare. Okay, first thing first. Get the junk out of your trunk. So next, go ahead and lift up the trunk floor cover. Just get it past your CD player if you have one. And there's also the instructions there for you if you need them. Next, we're going to loosen the storage tray securing nut. That's all that is. And if that's too tight to hand loosen, you can go ahead and put a combination wrench on this and loosen it that way. Take out the storage tray. So inside where the storage tray was, there is the spare tire carrier securing nut. And in order to loosen this and remove it, we're going to use two tools provided in the BMW toolkit. And that's going to be the wheel installation alignment tool, which is this, and the spark plug wrench, which is this. Just going to put them together, make a T-handled wrench out of it. And go ahead and put that on top of the nut. And loosen, remove the nut. And there's your spare tire carrier securing nut. Next, go ahead and remove the jack for easier access. Okay, next we're going to deal with the spare tire carrier lowering handle, the cable, and the lock clip. And the next thing we need to do is loosen the securing nut, which is right there, using the handle itself. Okay, now that's loose and away. Okay, last step, and my hands are going to kind of get in the way as I do it. But you need to go ahead and pinch the securing clip, which is right here, while holding the handle up. And it's going to be a bit heavy, so be careful. As you pinch that, it's going to release the carrier. And then you can go ahead and gently lower the carrier down till it rests. So you can take a look underneath the car while we're doing this, exactly what we're doing when we lower the carrier. Then it's on the ground and we're good to go. We can go ahead and pull out the carrier tray with the spare inside of it. Okay, so what I think happened with my spare and why I lost all the air so suddenly was, if you take a look inside the carrier tray, you have basically a valve stem extension, and that allows you to measure the air pressure in your spare from outside the car. That connects to here, And again, that's how you access that. I think my extension may have burst. I'm gonna have to take it off and find out. So I went ahead and cleaned the tray and the spare tire because they were really dirty, and started to take a look at things. I also took off the valve stem extension using a 10mm wrench and a needle nose vice grips, and took that off the carrier tray. And it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with this in particular. I mean, it's old, but it's still flexible. And then I took a look at the valve stem on the tire itself. If you take a look there, it's looking pretty rough, and the rubber's all old and cracked. Now I'm going to go ahead and press that up using my compressor, but I think I know the results, and we're going to have to go ahead and change this valve stem out. So no surprise, I've pressed up the tire and the valve stem is completely shot. Taking a look at the tire itself and the date code. This should be the date code here, and I'm pre-2000 tires. First two digits are the week of the year it was made, and then the last digit is the last digit of the year. So we've kind of got to assume that this was a 1998 tire. This is the original tire, and other research I've done leads me to believe that's true. So this tire is a T125/90 R15, and I'm having a heck of a time finding a replacement because I really would like to replace the now 23-year-old tire. So I still want to test the valve stem extension that came with the tray. To do that, I'm going to go ahead. I've already connected it to the rear tire. I've let some air out of that tire, so we're going to go ahead and fill the rear tire using the extension itself and make sure that extension holds. And it seems to be working just fine. So this is holding air, no problem, no leaks. But again, it's 23 years old as well, and it's only a matter of time before the rubber inside of this braided hose starts to leak. So I'm probably going to look for a replacement. If I find one, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the description for you. So a few things to wrap up. Number one, to place the carrier and the spare back into the car, just reverse the steps that I showed you earlier. It's a very well engineered system. I am biased towards the engineers at BMW, I have to admit, but they did a really nice job with this. Second thing, on the age of the tire, considering it's never been used, it's visually in good condition, and it holds air other than the valve stem, I'm tempted not to replace it. I'm really having no luck finding a new one in the exact same size, close but not quite. And I think I'm just going to keep this one and hope I never have to use it. As far as the valve stem goes, thought about making a video about how to change out the valve stem, but a bunch of those exist online already. And then I thought I'd call the local Tire Kingdom and ask what it would cost for them to replace the valve stem. And they said bring it down and they'd do it for free, so why do it myself? So I'm going to do that later on today, and thank you Tire Kingdom, Ben at Tire Kingdom specifically, appreciate that. If you found this content helpful, please hit that like button, and until next time, drive safe.